As we ponder over these last few years of tragedy and despair for earth, man, beast, tree, and those trying to live for some good purpose and freedom on earth, my mind goes back to 9/11 as planned horror by manipulators behind the scenes who created the treachery that filled the world with a stench of evil so bad it nearly destroyed the spirit of life. And if you look, you will see that in many places. But let's remember the lives of those with spirits inside, flinging themselves to their death, hundreds of meters high, to escape being squashed like flies in a plan so cold that evil itself shudders to this day. The innocent firemen, trudging stairs to save who they could, are indeed the angels of truth, now flying high above the earth and sky, men with good hearts, brave and sincere. Did those who felt evil to a design ever care about their own families, themselves or anyone to whom they destroyed so coldly, or even their own alien race? This whole affair was deeply planned and manipulated by a reason that had more to it than meets the eye. Just like the Japanese tsunami, there are things going on planet Earth out of the control of many of us. Manipulations, secrets, codes, and determined freaks that bounce their brains around in bowls of poisons. That why should they claim that they are the genius of all life anywhere? Jealousies and madness claims many controlled in hives and holes, who climb out like avenged maggots to twist and distort everything to their own advantage or boredom. Were deals broken for such horror to be played out, deals between alien and man? Man has tangled with others who have stripped his sanity and his life. To declare war on Iraq, another madness that lowered the frequency of earth and man, to prove and justify another right or wrong. And so this war had a bouncing off effect worldwide and so created the mess we have today. Many wars and madmen everywhere. Something, it seems, is trying to obliterate life on earth and make excuses for savage men to rape, abuse, and mutilate women and children and animals. The male of the species has a lot of work to do to respect women. But women seem to like to keep their blokes' shirts white and ironed, crinkle-free. Many men in high places across the globe, to me, have become illegal citizens of Earth. And having watched the filthy lying of many political leaders state the righteousness of their contaminated decisions worldwide, who flood the globe freely of their rottenness, their lies are easily detected. Like a tractor with a flat tire, men and women who have sworn allegiance to man and country stiffly sleep at night and expect the wonders of morality to keep them out of their darkness. Crude and evil thinkers going nowhere. This shit saturates the globe of man. We all know the demon influence. So no wonder those of other countries rise up like serpents on fire. All this madness nearly blasted the world to bits. In a bid for power, a plague of sickness and confusion and bewilderment. I was contacted by outsiders of Earth, and especially a man named Jesus, whom I knew thought that evil patrolled Earth was a place of horror, that life would nearly not exist. And so he told me stuff. The day before 9/11, a picture in the sky so clearly told me something bad was going to happen, with planes and aliens and smoke. But what and when? It is all very well getting a message so strong, yet so vague, all at once. A picture of such was sent to an American radio station. Before all this, Jesus came and told me what I'm going to tell you now. It's been a while, but it's now time. The story goes thus, and remember, I've seen UFOs and lots of stuff for a long time. So one night, while sitting in chair favourite and listening to the radio, to a religious person ranting and making up stuff about Christianity annoyed me. And I said to myself, something is going to have to happen about all this religious and make-believing. And so it did. I looked up to see a light being, tall, young, energetic, moving toward me. He said, I want you to write down what I am going to tell you. So I gathered pen and paper, whilst he came and knelt beside me for a second or two, then moved up again. So we proceeded thus. He wanted me to pass this on to everyone. So here it is. He said, how can you say who is who and what they are when you regulate everything? He said, I am not the fickle monster that you all portray to many. I am not here at your feet to cry in the wilderness. It is not I who is there, it is you. You imagine your religious life to be above all else. When all is true, you will discover the opposite. He said, many perceive they know me. They know me not at all. He said, I am the only Jesus and recognize all those wishing for excellence in my name. He said, my name is not a holy wish or prayer, and I am here not in the name of any God, of which I have no concern. He said, men's judgments are an error to justice, and accordingly change the tune in your reality. He indicated that he is a swinger, more so than those who wish for me. He likes music. Then he said, the wind blows ferociously in your hearts. He said, you cannot and will not make believe before me. So why are your hearts strained in nostalgia, relentlessly? And if you will always condemn one another's rituals, employ more thought and simpler judgment. He said, my bandwagon is indeed not your bandwagon to jump upon, if you do not mind me saying so. He said, you all have yearnings in your hearts and no passion. He said, your Bibles make you study and pray. Half of you don't know what you're on about at all. He said, I am not a page of black and white. I am colour beyond the stems of many flowers. And he said, you must ease yourselves into simpler thinking. He said, you may say the lady I talked to is taking a risk, but she does not condemn the spirit for being what it is. He said, there are many windows for your thoughts to fly through. Have any of you ever experienced any of these? He said, you all put me through the washer and expect all things to be normal. What is normal? And why would I pass you a snake when your wilderness is patrolled by them? Jesus said he only comes to 4 people on the planet, and that the rest are wishful, the others are wishful thinkers. He said, my Father protected me. He did not ever wish for my death for a purpose. He said, be still. Be magic people. Many of you won't see the next lot of rain. He said, you think tragedy encourages you to be better. If that is so, who could tell when evil falls before you? Then half of him went left and half of him went right. Then he said, consider both sides of the story, referring to war. He said, propaganda is the saint of an evildoer. He said, spin is your guardian. You live with it, you die with it. And also, brutality is never ending, a force you don't see when it's confined in your own suitability. He said, it is not good people who declare war on others. It is monster controllers, collaborators of force and disarrayment, to which their end is obvious. It said strife and hardship permeates most of the people on the planet, and should a hardline tactic be employed forever, who will ever have any fun, including those who spin the ball? He said, many engineer their own philosophies to pin them on me. Then he said, very assertively, fat chance. A few other things that he said, but I'll bring them up later. Believe that because that's a true story. I don't believe in lies, okay? So ponder on that. Au revoir.